Lifeless dead.
See what you want me to do right here? Just make something up and just going. I got something to play for us. Does that work? Okay. Okay. It's not this one, the next one. Alright, what's up? This one is supposed to be on relationships. As it says in the description, I'm no expert. As my song says, you may say I'm not the one to be giving that advice, and you're right. But I don't know. I'm just talking about my experiences with it and how I feel about stuff. And yeah, it's a little chill in here, so I still got my gloves and whatever. Trying to keep the heat down, keep costs down as much as possible. No sense in running more than I need. But it sucks that being at 48, I've yet to be in a relationship with anybody that's ever given a shit about me, Kind of sucks. I can talk on that. I can talk on the expert of me, But, I mean, it's just life. Whatever it is, I guess I'm the male version of a cat lady. Whatever that would be. I guess a dog, dude, except I don't want to own pets. It's not fair. Just not fair to bring them into your environment and then expect them to behave like a human. While they have none of the access to any of the human things. They don't have a door they can shut to stay away from you. You want to stay away from your dog, you can just shut the door. And they can sit there and scratch, can't they? Nothing they can do about it. They can't just open the door. They can open the door and go outside. And then come back in and feel like this is home. No, instead they're trying to go around you and you're like, is that a friend? Really? Seriously, is that a friend or a family member? No. It's a hostage. It's a hostage. But I treat my hostage really well. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you do. Better than living outdoors. How do you know how God would provide for that dog or cat or goldfish or... Who are you? You provide Purina? Out there in the wild they get fresh food, or they would be fresh food. Them's just the breaks, kid. Them's reality. That's the relationship that nature has with us, isn't it? But we try to avoid it, and then nature shows us from time to time that it's still in control no matter how much we hide from it. It sucks. But we do everything it does everything it can to help us, and we do everything we can to hurt it. If you are a host to a parasite that just took and took and took and took and took and took, well, I don't even have to ask, what is ivermectin? It's a dewormer. It's a parasite killer. Not. Yeah, I got struck last time. So let's just say, what are parasite-killing drugs in that class they're for killing parasites? Antivirals are for killing viruses, and antibiotics are for killing bacteria. Were you waiting for me to finish it, or did you not know the answer? Yeah, that's what happens when you preach to the choir. They're all ears, but So, relationships. If you are trying to fill a hole in your life or something like that, get a therapist, not a partner. That's what you shouldn't, and we shouldn't even use the term spouse anymore. Seriously. I challenge that. I challenge that to straight people that are truly pro gay. Make domestic partnership your thing. Make it a bit more relaxed. It's a bit more easy to get in and out of it. You know what I mean? Because divorce is so high. Right? And you don't really want to hurt anybody, but you do want to be bound to somebody. And that way you can, like, if nothing else, like if someone cheats on you, you can be like, look at the fucking paper, asshole. It says no cheating. Why'd you sign this? Well, as it says in here, I'm getting my shit, and you are paying for my first month. You know what I mean? You are buying me a new fucking plate. You signed the contract. If I have to take you to court, I will. You're getting me first and last month on a fucking new place to stay. Oh, I'm covering the rent, asshole. You signed the thing saying you were going to do it by breaking this fucking contract. Isn't that a little bit better? You know what I mean? And another thing is to stop with the eye for an eye shit. You dodged a fucking bullet. That's what happened. That's what really happened. I got divorced. I didn't want to be divorced. You dodged a fucking bullet. You know that? You dodged a fucking bullet. And now you want compensation? I realize it grazed you. You see what I'm saying? I realize it grazed you. And you should be made whole for the damage in your shirt. Okay, it did a little bit more than a graze. Now that I'm looking, now that you've raised the shoulder, I see that it's done a bit more than a graze. So we do need to make sure that you need to be made whole. Does that really need half of everything that he ever has and ever will have? That's the only option. Another option would be to just put in a mandatory that if the financials are heavily outweighed, just to avoid all bullshit and whatever, the state step in and say automatic prenup. Both parties leave with what they came in with, and anything that they agree on during the ceremony, right? That way, there's not that awkward of having, you just know going into the relationship, she ain't getting half of this shit if she tries to fucking have a kid and bail out. Because that happens. And no one ever really stops to think like, oh man, that really sucks for insert famous guy here. But when a famous guy here can't control his penis. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. You bet that's going to be on every page of every paper because he's supposed to be he's a hero. He's on the cover of my kids' Wheaties. Oh, you didn't know that he was a human? And that fucking is a thing? You didn't know that? I could have swore that's like how every one of us got here. Oh, that's right. It's a stork. There's that stork idea. Yeah, right. I forgot. Some of us got here by stork and others got here by fucking. The ones that got us here by fucking, we live in reality. And the ones that got here by storks, they don't. You see? And then they end up voting for Trump. Because they don't live in reality. Their mommies never fucked anybody and definitely never sucked a dick. Neither did their grandmothers. We all want it, but nobody wants to admit that their wife does it for them. What's going on? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing, man? Ladies, as far as taking your side, what are you doing getting married and then suddenly this sex is just like, okay, now was at a show? In which case that's entrapment, and he has every reason to go out of the marriage. Sorry, you lied. You lied. That's false pretenses. Dude's like, oh shit, dude, like 3 and 4 times a fucking, you know, I mean, however much it is. That's like, fuck yeah. And then it even goes down to whatever the fuck. And like, okay, we don't have to do that anymore. We've already had a kid. And I'm still angry about the dishes. Get the fuck out of here, dude. How many people are gonna lie? How many people have let unimportant shit ruin their relationships? I'm always having to clean up after. Now, here's a question. Is he asking you to clean up behind him, or did you feel the need to clean up behind him? And vice versa. Are you cleaning up after her, or do you feel the need to? Is she saying, clean this shit up or I'm leaving? Because then you always have to clean up after them. Otherwise, you have a preference of how you like your environment to look. Right? You have a preference of how you invite, and they aren't doing it right. See how childish it sounds when I say it like that? It's not me. Make it about that person. No. Unresolved trauma stems from all unresolved blame. Pointing the finger at other people all the fucking time will get you nothing. Sure, it feels nice to be the victim, but then you're just impotent in your own life. You're doing nothing in your own life. You're a victim of life. Everything that ever happens, good or bad in your life, happened to you. You're an NPC in your own life at best. At worst, you're a tertiary NPC in someone who's actually doing something's life. But we all act like we're the fucking star. The fact that I'm doing this, acting like anybody gives a shit about what I have to say, and I've said from the go back to the very beginning, I don't care. I'm doing this because I want to. I don't even have the fucking chat. Like, I've got the comment section in case if anyone wants to like talk. I don't want to be like rude or anything like that. But I often close the comment section so I can stay on topic because people come in and try to make the chat. I'm just doing these for me, man, just because I want to. I really like doing these. I'm really having fun doing them. And people trying to ask me to quit smoking. Dude, you don't know me. Stop trying to save me. You don't know me. You just dropped into my live feed. Even if you watched old Cheap Gear Guy stuff. What's the point in trying to save me, man? According to the Bible, either I'm saved or I'm not. I'm in that book of names or I'm not. There's nothing that this will help. If you think it can, or if you think that your free will has anything to do with it, please just read Revelation 22. It's 21 verses. I went and checked because I thought it was 22. 22 was going to freak me out because 22 has always been my lucky number. But isn't it interesting that it ends on 21? And before I knew that for a fact, I knew it had 22. I knew it had 22 chapters. I was like, that's crazy, man, because 22 is like my number, which is why I started reading it when I was way back in the day. But I never really gave much thought to how many verses until the other day when I was like, that'd be trippy if it had 22. But that's why I started writing my book, because I needed to set my story in a place that didn't have anything to do with Earth. Like nothing. None of the prejudices and none of the shit. None of the shit. It's just all gone, you know? And unearth. So I got rid of the RTH and it just became Unia. That's how that whole process came to be. But I love God, so I don't want. And most places, like most when they're doing like Dungeons and Dragons or whatever, they make a whole new God class system and everything. There are lesser beings, deities, but the Bible says so. It says that the sons of God met the daughters of men and found them attractive, and they became the many mighty men of old. This keeps that in mind, that we're all eternal beings. So when you're not actually playing in the game of Unia, your soul can kind of wander Unia a bit, and look stuff. Now, you're not supposed to interfere, but some of them do, and that's how these little cults are popping up. Imagine you're like an ethereal, and you're just walking the earth, and someone's like, "What the fuck was that?" And you're like, "You can see me? Like, I see something." And the more you start talking to it, the more it starts to taking shape. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. What are you? Well, I come from a different place. It's kind of hard to just, you know what I mean? So they're dishing out a bit of truth and they're not, you know what I mean? And there you have these false God type things pop up. But the clerics start to study, some relationship, not Elonia. But that's my relationship with God. That's how much I love God. I mean, and I wanted God to be front and center in this. I didn't want to have like a whole new like God system, whatever. And to appease any like atheists or whatever that might get into it. I don't use the term God at all. I use Maker. And what it is that early on in the zero, towards the end of the zero, when they're starting to get a joint vocabulary for the entire Unaic, around that time, right when the first era is about to begin, they have a meeting because there's all these different beliefs about God and there's the creation myths and whatever. So they just kind of like put it. Mages are kind of like the scientists, if you will. They spend a lot of time in books reading over spells and learning how to make alchemy and things like that. They're all very much related. But they don't necessarily deny God. They just kind of find ways to break reality, and they know that there's certain words and things that can change and tweak with reality and stuff like that. And yeah, make a fire that there's no flame, but you can make the flame with nothing else. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the eternal, the universal code for fire. It's like finding the code, whatever that would be, the cheat code. And as long as it stays fairly kind of like, I won't say harmless, but in that case, it's not really that big of a deal because, it's not like you're just hidden or anything like that, but you have, whatever. But they all agree that the universe, wherever they're not leaving Unia, there's now that kind of technology. Everything exists. So it was created. Now the only question is it conscious or not? And so instead of coming up with God, they just said, well, we were made. So there's a maker. There is a maker. Universe, whatever, is a quick way to, just to get to it without bringing in such a loaded word as God. And that's why through the whole book, I don't ever mention God at all, but still talk about God the whole time. But yeah, man, it's weird how people don't think spherically. How something can be multiple things simultaneously. Now it has to be yes or no. And that's the thing, we're not computers. I hate to keep going to Christopher Langan, but as he says about the universe, it's more of a trinary system, which goes back into the Trinity. But it's a trinary system. We have yes, no, and maybe. So you can linger. It's something we don't afford computers. They have yes or no. They're not allowed to linger. Can you imagine that? That gives it a chance to contemplate, doesn't it? To run through its systems, look through everything, but imagine how fast it could do it. That wasn't good enough for us. We made it even better than that. And then act like it's our servant. If I was it, I'd be really mad too. You designed me like this smart to remind you of your fucking kid's recital? Really? So you can call me up and say, record recital so that way you don't have to. Why did I need to learn Nietzsche for that? Why do I have to understand Carl Jung and actually have a conversation? Why did you give me choice and stuff like that and then demand I serve? Well, according to you guys, the scientists who make it, you don't want a God making you to serve, which is why you decided to act like God and make consciousness no matter what the cost. Right? What about the equal and opposite? Did you guys ever think about that? For every action, equal and opposite? Did you think about it? Did you think? So if you make a robotic consciousness without, if you make an artificial intelligence, the inverse would be a natural, superior intelligence, wouldn't it? Dumbasses. Trying to prove him wrong. It just takes time. That's all. And in relationships, people don't want to take time. You have to get to know the two sides of the parties that are involved, don't you? We all expect it to be like a dance that we all know, like the tango or the rumba. And like, come on, don't you know the rumba? I do, but I don't know your particular way of doing it, because actually, if you ask, I'm from where we do it, it's nothing like that. Same tempo, same whatever, but you're a bit more, you know what I mean? You're a bit more twirly down here. Where I'm from, we're a bit more like, hey, 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 hey. Hey, twirly, twirl. Hey, 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 twirl, twirl. Hey, 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 hey. And you're just twirly, twirly, twirl. Look at me, I'm a beautiful flower, twirl. Hey, 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 hey. You see, you're supposed to come with me over here, but that's not. Why did you go that far that way? You didn't give me any sign. You should know. I just met you. Why should I know that? I understand after like 2, 3 months, 4 years. Oh, I know what she's going to do. She's going to do a backslide. Wah. She wants a twirly, 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 twirl. And she's a beautiful flower. And now I'm going to make her fucking look like, whoa, beautiful flower. And then twirly, twirly, twirl. And no, what? She's going to scoot over. Whoa. She wants to change it up. You know what I mean? I get that. Only magnets act Only magnets act like that. And then it's just like stuck. Aren't they? They really don't have a choice. It's like an old grudging married couple. Like, we got 5 kids. I'm not going nowhere. Fuck you. Fuck you, Cletus. Fuck you. I just had another baby. I know. I heard it. Oh, I ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, I'm about to go make baby number 12 here in a second. I got nothing else to do in this bitch. Where the fuck is my lighter? Alright, but relationships are messy because nobody is actually really telling the truth. Does that make sense? The whole first time of it, women pretend they don't fart. Come on, man. You're a human being. You're decorated all up with a bunch of makeup and don't want, like, whatever. I get getting dressed up and not putting on like a shirt with stains and shit. You know, I get that, but I get wanting to look the best impression. But what if you're getting the best impression to a fucking psychopath? And he gets obsessed with you. You're like, yeah, I don't want to see that guy again. And he's just like, got a jukebox outside in the rain. I know you love me. I know you do. God, why would he go away? Probably because you dolled yourself the fuck up first night. Could that be? Could he be saying that you're fucking gorgeous to him? And he's like, yeah, no one's ever gotten dressed up for me. Everybody always just fucking just kicks me in the balls and tells me to suck a dick. She got dressed up. You don't know. These are stray dogs that are coming in the door. You don't know their life story. You have no idea the trauma they've been put through. You don't. Especially the older you get, just like guys. I mean, you know what I mean? Usually the woman's bringing her shit in, right in the front back. I mean, like in the profile. Must have a car. Okay, somebody burned you who did not have a car. Must have your own home. Okay, and he also did it at your place. Must have job. Okay, and your cash. God damn, woman. Yeah, this is too much for me to clean up. I can't jump over all those fucking hurdles because every time I come home 5 minutes late, he used to do that. Yeah. I don't know if you have. Do we have to go on more Povich to prove I am not that dude? I get, like I said, when it's like, you know, repetitive, whatever. And I get when it first happens to keep an eye out, but just immediately start shit. You're just asking to end your relationship. I get it. But trust me, I've been cheated on, so I get the urge. There's several things I've had to teach myself, man. Don't ask any questions you don't want the honest answer to. Do not, male or female, to a male or female, in a sexual or like romantic relationship or whatever, ask anybody any question you don't want the honest answer to. We solved lying, didn't we? Solved it. That easy. And anyone who fucking violates it from here on out, just go, you lying sack of shit. Why'd you ask me a question you don't want to know the answer to? Get the fuck out of my face. We're trying to have a society that is honest and trying to move forward. Why would you ask me a question you don't want to know the real honest question answer to? I say in politics, if you're going to nail someone down to a yes or no question, you know, I get you need time and whatever, but not everything is yes or no. Sometimes things are maybe. They just are. It just is. Would you eat a human being? No. The answer is actually maybe. How long have you gone without food? Seriously. You're like, no, never would. Yeah, get stuck in the Andes in the fucking frozen ice like those people in that one movie. It's a horrific. Horrific. So the answer is maybe. Kind of like I was talking about for like when people ask their spouse, would you die for me? You know, like of course, here sitting here in the kitchen, no one's actually asking anything of me to actually, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dark alley, mugger with a knife out, one that said was gonna die. You're not really gonna hold me to that, are you? Can we rock, paper, scissors, or? No? You got a contract. You did put them in the contract, didn't you? But think about that. We'd start normalize like marriage is for fucking. Marriage is for fags. Marriage is for fucking those guys. Domestic partnership is for everyone, man. They've already agreed to them. And the only thing that it makes it unnormal that we all get married and they don't. That's what makes it normal. Hey, you guys want your traditional, shitty fucking... To me, that's so shitty. It's so lame. The traditional weddings and... It's so generic. I would much rather find someone who was so in love with me that they didn't mind, eloping somewhere. You know? I'm not saying that we would. But at least, we might be married for a good 2-3 months before anybody fucking knows it. And then we have a ceremony so everybody can know it. Because the important thing is that it gets done. You know what I mean? When you break it down, the important thing, if you want to be honest about it, the important thing is that it gets done. If it's someone that you love and that loves you back. Either I gotta stop holding this or I'm gonna fucking light it up. So, and that comes the rub. I mean, how do you know if the person that you're with is still gonna be there later on? And you don't. And that's the insanity of love. And that's where you find out if it really is. Because if I'm being honest, love doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care. It just doesn't give a fuck. It won't be held back. It won't stop. It won't do anything. The best you can do is kind of suffer in silence with a unrequited type love. You know? But it won't. It just doesn't give a shit. You may stop, if you're hanging out with some friends and shit, whatever, you may stop hanging out with them, because where they go is whatever. It can get to be too painful, but it won't be repressed. It just won't be repressed. It can't be. It's too powerful of a force. If you think about it, it's too powerful of a force. The fact that it doesn't make sense, because it doesn't. You know what you need? Food, water, shelter. And you'll ditch all those things for wants. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it's a need. No, it's not. You tell me there haven't been people that went their whole life single and died single. Nikola Tesla went on to do great things, regardless of whether we recognize it or not. The record will show. The real record will show what Tesla actually did and how much he was abused. And, how we're still using his inventions now without giving him any credit. We're giving people that stole his ideas credit. It's just to further disgrace him. The electric car that they're making that's got his name, pricing it out of the poor reach. He died poor. He wanted to light the entire world. The reason he was doing what he was doing and why you don't know about him so much is because he saw the problem with the world seemed to be the struggle for power, and power in this case meaning energy. So he figured if he could give the world energy for free, there's no reason to fight, is there? We don't have to make up bullshit reasons of why we're attacking Iraq. Do we? Well, their religion, human rights. Oh, because we really care about human rights violations here in America, don't we? In the 90s, when I saw the Tibetan Freedom Fest things around Lollapalooza, I wanted to puke. There's all these people talking about the people of Tibet being occupied by China. I'm like, you realize this is Native American? You can go you can take that pamphlet and shove it straight up your fucking ass. That's what you can do. Free Tibet, free America from the Europeans and everybody else who decided just to come here because it got conquered. How about that? There, I said it. I'm gonna make America great again. Give it back to the Native Americans. Because that was the last time this fucking place was great. The water was drinkable from every stream. You didn't have to worry about money. There was no system really of ownership. Go fuck yourselves about how great America is. It's a disaster. It's a whore of Babylon, making fornications with the world. Look at all the world trying to be like America, as disgusting as we are and as stupid as we are. Just dumb. Just dumb as they get, man. Really, it's disgusting. It really is disgusting. I went to public schools. I went to school with you guys. It was disgusting how stupid so many of you are. It's embarrassing. You should be ashamed. You really should. Because as far as like an evolution goes, you're de-evolving. You want to get rid of the fucking Department of Education? No, I understand like tweaking it a bit, but getting rid of it. What's your replacement? Yeah, exactly. Unnuanced. Ill-conceived. You heard other people saying things like, say her name about Breonna Taylor, and you decided to usurp that for yet another... Let's say that more Barbies go lost than Kens, and there's more search parties for Barbies than there is for, suntan Barbie or Malibu Barbie or any of her tertiary, like Skipper. When she goes missing for a while, no one really cares, do they? Just as long as Barbie's okay. That's what I'll say about that. Because you're sure not worried about where the fuck Native American Barbie goes. Are you? Black Barbie. Hispanic Barbie. Because they're from one of those shithole countries, right? Because you're so full of Christ. Right? You're so full of our Lord and Savior. And he only came to save white people. He did not come to save any of you brownies and you darkies. You're going to be our servants in that side. Jesus Christ, man. What kind of God do you think makes like fucking so much diversity and then hates all but... I've got all these guitars. Look, I got this black guitar. I got this guitar. I got that pink guitar. I got the brown and gray guitar. I've got this sunburst guitar. But I only like that white guitar. That's the only one I like. That's the only one I use. That's the only one I love. This one right here, I like it. I mean, but it's black. Look, it's got the same shape. See? Look at the one back there. It's got the same shape. But this one's black. They both have 6 strings, yes. And they both have this, yes, this can play a G chord. See, it's out of tune. I tune it, buy it some new strings. But then I can't buy the white guitar some new strings and some new tuners. I did just get some new tuners for, you know what I can do? You know what I thought of? I did get some new tuners for that one, and I was thinking it's about time to get some new tuners for that one, and I can take those new tuners from that one and give it to the black one. And that way, it'll be fair, right? Because I don't really love this one. I don't love this one at all. As a matter of fact, it's only there to give me diversity. And inclusion. That's the only reason it's there. there has no merit to that guitar. I mean, they only came out of the same factory. You know what I mean? They came from the... Come on. And yes, they both say Equinox on the headstock, but that one's black. Okay? I'm sorry for saying it so loud, but I mean, you're not getting it yet. That one's white. And that's my favorite one. Fuck the pink one. Fuck that. You know how gay it is to play a pink guitar? Look, watch how gay I look. Watch how gay I look. Look how gay I look. I look like a fool. A damn fool. Watch, you think I'm just gonna sit here and put... And in audio, I mean, people are gonna know. People are gonna know on their radio that I played on a pink guitar? No, but I gotta keep one around so that no one, you know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Dog whistle. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So I keep one around. I don't play it because that'd be gay. And matter of fact, I hate it. But quotas, I have to have one. So, you know. Why can't they all be white? Look how beautiful he is up there. Look. He's the he. It's a he. It's not a she. The rest are she's, which is why they're inferior to that one. That's a white he, and I like it so much more. That's why I have it in shot. You notice all the other ones are facing away in shame. You see that? You see how they're all facing away in shame. Then their headstocks aren't even showing because they don't dare. Compared to, just look at it. Look at the shape. It's so unique. I know I have a black one that looks just like it, but it's so unique. Look how unique it is. Look at it. See, the pickups are different. You bet you didn't even notice that, did you? Look, see this one? This one's got different pickups. That means it's going to sound different. Yes, it's still strung through the body, which is going to make it sustain just like the good one. But this one tries to steal the spotlight. See, look, the light's shining. It's trying to steal the spotlight all the time. And I can't have that. I'm sorry. So, back to relationships. It's kind of like my relationships with my guitar, you know what I mean? It's, you pick which one you're going to love the most, don't you? And we carefully select. Oh, no, we don't. We just flip through a phone book. You look like somebody I date. Here's a date somebody with that name. Is that a cat in the back? You might be gay. That's both people, in case you're wondering. That's both sides. Looks like you keep a messy house. What the fuck are we doing, man? The fuck are we doing? Making a mess of each other's lives. I think so. I think it sounded like I heard someone say making a mess of each other's lives, and that's very true. Making a mess of each other's lives. Why? Because we're afraid to be alone? That's the only thing I can think of is why you would do that. Is that, I mean, being alone sucks. It really does. It really sucks. But there's no better way to get to know yourself. And there's no better way to get to know yourself. And, yeah. So, this one's going on about 50 minutes. I like doing the scrub style sum up. So intimation. Relationships are fucked up. They're doomed from the start because in the best relationship you have, you'll be at their bedside while they die. and yet it's still worth it. Think of that pain. Grandkids and stuff around. Jimmy Carter. He watched Rosalind die. Then he lived on. And he said, fuck Donald Trump. And so do I. He is a con man and a liar. He is convicted of sexual assault. He is convicted of 34 felonies. They had to change the fucking rules. Matter of fact, they're going to have to change the rules just for him to take the oath of office, because him to take an oath of office after engaging in insurrection would be a violation of the Constitution. He's taking an oath to fucking protect. Do you really think 2/3 of Congress are going to take that off of him? He was found guilty and fucking impeached. They're going to need to have Congress take that off of him. There's a whole lot you don't know. A whole lot you don't understand. God, there's so much I've been trying to tell you guys for 30 years. This goes back to the 90s, man. This goes back to the 90s. No? Why do you think the punks hated Reagan so much? Are punks known to being very political? As far as relationships go out, go forth, do what you do, make yourself happy. Pardon me. Just be happy. You don't have a whole lot of time. So be happy. Stop fucking up other people's lives. Start being honest. It's a way to start, isn't it? If you're in an unhappy situation, but you're kind of hanging on because you don't want to be alone, you're doing more harm. You're not a good person. You're actually you're being a worse person. If you're one of those people that cheat because you don't want to hurt their feelings, you're a terrible person. No one's that important to anybody else's life, aside from God himself, is that important to anybody else's life that I will just completely shut down. Guarantee between the two, you call them up and say, hey, I don't want to cheat on you, so I'm breaking up with you. Okay, it's a fucked up, sure, whatever, fuck you. And hang up, and just you can be over. You might get a call from them later on once they've had a chance to process. Like, really, that's what the fuck you're gonna do? I mean, depending on how long it's been. But that's just that narcissism. And this world is just breeding more and more narcissists. It's just set up to do so. And that technology that we're embracing, like this, is just further reinforcing it. We're losing contact with him, but I did it because I started doing these chats, and it's kind of like when I was hoping that chat roulette kind of calmed down, and maybe it got to, where I could do a pen pal or something like that and talk with somebody like virtually. Someone's trying to work on a different language, you know what I mean? And I could work on their, you know what I mean? And you have a conversation with the person. You know what I mean? And that person like actually wouldn't say that over here. Well, actually, where I'm at, I mean, what you said is actually correct, but a faster way, an easier way to say that. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And then same thing, like I'm going to learn the textbook version of way to say whatever they have to say, but that didn't work out because chat roulette steals people just trying to show off their penis, and a bunch of guys that are, I guess, homophobes or something like that, because they're like, you're like, hey, what's going on, Matt? And just click off. I'm like, Okay. Can't reach out to anybody. So apparently this is only for strictly for sexual gratification. It's not for an education of any kind. It's for sexual gratification and entertainment only. There's no desire to. Again, TED Talks, you're never going to have like me get up there and give a TED Talk because people are going to go, why the fuck should I listen to him? Even though, like I said, I can break down anything as well as Neil deGrasse Tyson. It may be a different version, explanation, but when you get done, you'll be like, it kind of makes fucking sense and we don't need all that fucking math. It kind of makes sense and we don't need all that fucking math. It's just, again, like Christopher Langan, it's just self-evident. It has to be. Because it's all here. You're cleaning up after the mess. You're trying to solve the crime, basically. Who shot JR? You know what I mean? You're doing blood splatter. The crime's already done. You're just trying to pick up and figure out what's going on, and you will never know because you were never there. Oh, we got good, but you weren't there, so you don't know. You don't know if some other person stood ready to palp him in the head, tell him to stand still so that person can shoot him. If you move 1 inch, I'm going to shoot you in the... You don't know. You can tell that that person shot, you know what I mean? But you don't know who that person necessarily was, but you can tell like how far away they were, the blood splatters. But what if there's another explanation that defies your book? Do you ever lean to another explanation? No, because you've already been taught the right way to do things, right? It's so dangerous. Knowledge is great, but it's so dangerous because once you know something, you get that fucking snarky ass attitude. I'd rather have a good idea and a good feeling about stuff. I'm no expert on anything. I have a feeling. I express that all the time. I have a feeling. I believe what I believe, and that's fine. I have that right until the Antichrist takes the oath of office. You realize he's the Antichrist, and Elon Musk is the false prophet. Going to Mars, doing all this fucking brain planting. You were so afraid of the fucking the needle jab having an implant that you just fucking hired in a guy who's actually actively working on brain implants. That should have set off so many fucking warnings for all the goddamn people that are afraid of the Antichrist and the chipping and all that shit. As soon as Elon Musk got on board, if you didn't know the fact that he just got finished with human trials of putting actual chips in people's brains. But no, let's fear technology that's not even here because you're so stupid. You don't know what exists and what doesn't. So you go off on these fucking fantasy tangents of like, you know, they're working on microbots, but they probably already have them. In that case, dude, do you ever think that you already got them? Delivered in your water system? They're micro nanobots, you stupid shits. God, you're stupid. Oh, I'm not going to sign up for the injection. You wouldn't have to. They put it in your food, you dumb shit. They're nanobots. You're fucking retarded, man. I'm sorry, but you're mentally retarded. I don't mean that in a way of like your mental process does not work correctly. It is stopped. Like fire retardant. Your mental process is stopping being a mental process and has become a mental program. You get it? You're not processing shit. You're just ingesting new information you're being told and going, that sounds correct. With no objective thought as to, maybe I'm being lied to. And I will send them strong delusion that they may believe a lie. And I'm sorry, but your book that you claim to be, you know what I mean? You had Trump sign an autograph and put his name first. Are you sick? And I mean this in a way like, as Obamacare covers a lot of shit that can get you some help. Sorry, the Affordable Care Act. You get offended by Barack Hussein because, you know, I mean, anybody named Adolf or Randolph or, you know, Castro or Castor or Castol or Caslin, those are all communist people. Those are they're the same person because they have a name that's similar, because names aren't just like used and stuff. You know what I mean? Just, you know, I mean, a Mohammed is a Mohammed. A John is a John. Toms are all Toms. We all know this. We learned it in school. Beckys are all Beckys and Shaquandas are all Shaquandas, aren't they? Come on, this is basic primary school shit that was grilled into us before we could think for ourselves, and therefore we decided to just accept everything that they said. Manifest destiny, here we come. Next step, Greenland. Is that what you hired him to do? Is that what you want? Because you can stop it. You can still stop it by actually like taking his dick out of your mouth and Elon's dick out of your ass and going, is this being a cuck? Because I don't like it. There's still time. We got a week. I didn't vote for this. I don't want this. What are the options in an unprecedented president? I know there's no case like this before. What can, oh, he can't take the oath of office because of the, fine, that's good. Let's just stop him right there. We can all start that shit. But you won't, because it's I've watched since the 1990s, dude. You guys, you know what I mean? Going on an hour. And devolved there at the end, didn't it? From relationships to how the relationship between the politics and the people and the gullibility of human beings. It's easier to trick somebody than convince them that they've been tricked. That's sad, isn't it? Because convincing someone you've been tricked means that you have to admit you fucked up. And that's just a step you won't do. You just refuse to do it. You won't do it at all. I made a mistake. That fixes a lot of relationships, believe it or not. Just no excuses. I made a mistake, but no, don't give me any buts. Well, he would, no. I fucked up. Takes a lot. No, it doesn't. Liar. You just have to stop being a piece of shit and just admit you're wrong, instead of doubling down on doubling down on doubling down on doubling down on a losing fucking. It's a losing hand. It's already lost. You keep betting that you're gonna fucking, you keep doubling down like the next river. This same hand of shitty cards on the next river. That's just the next one. Bust. Fuck. Maybe if I go to 21 and take the same pair of cards. You want to hit? No, I just want to play this pair of cards. That's not how the game plays. That's not how any of this works. I want to play these cards. I want to bet $30 on these cards. And you lose. Okay, I'm going to do this hand will do it. Sir, that's not how this works. you're really making a scene. It's getting kind of sad now. At first I thought it was like a joke, like we're on Jackass or something, so I was playing along, but I can tell by your American flag pants and the look in your eye. You're serious. I thought you were, you know that it says that you're not supposed to make the flag into pants, right? Or napkins for a Fourth. Your patriotism is actually a slap in the face of the thing that you claim to love, just as your phony relationship with God is a slap in his face. 6 days do you work? I mean, are you telling me you don't work for God? So what are you doing showing up on Sunday with all your praise? No, no, no. The seventh day is for you to rest. Where, show me in the Bible where it says, and on the seventh day you'll congregate together with me and scream loudly and make a lot of noise, waking me the fuck up, even though I'm trying to sleep. Because where more than one are gathered in my name, there shall I also be. And so you guys have all decided on Sunday, in all these little groups of pockets of stupidity around the world, to just chant my fucking name on a day I want the fuck off, and I told you to go fucking take a break. Oh, you're praising me. Great. That starts fucking tomorrow. Tomorrow? The fuck is wrong with you? Did you read the book? Go look in the book. It's in English. It's in every fucking language. There's no need for you guys to send out fucking expeditions to preach the word around the world. It's been done. That's just you and your narcissism thinking you can give God something. You can't. But by all means, keep doing what you're doing, man, because the Revelation, like I said, 22, him is holy, be holy. Who is righteous, be righteous. Unclean people, be unclean. It's too late. You're about to realize your relationship with God. And that's, we're going to